Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have The Finder. This is, or I should say was, a 20th Century Fox acquisition. It was on Fox in 2012, a little over 11 years ago. It was like a mid-season replacement. It started in January. More than likely, I don't know if it was canceled before it ended, but I kind of barely remember it. It's by the same person who created Bones, the series Bones, with David Boreanaz. What's his name? Why are you not showing me the name of the person? Anyway, but anyway, this stars Jeff Stoltz. Man, my eyes are not good. Maddie Hansen, Mercedes Mason. I know her from the Fear the Walking Dead. She was Ophelia. And Michael Clark Duncan, the late great Michael Clark Duncan. You know him from The Green Mile. He was the Kingpin in Ben Affleck's Daredevil movie that most of us hopefully have tried to forget. And unless Deadpool 3 brings it back. Yeah, it's a procedural type of series. When I saw the name yesterday, I knew it stood out to me, but I couldn't remember what it was until I saw the picture and I realized, oh, it's on Disney Plus, but it's one of the very few series that is a live action series, not animated, that stars adults. That is not focused on 12-year-olds coming of age or learning mysteries or getting powers or whatever. It's actually a 20th Century Fox. We don't use Fox anymore, but it's a 20th Century Fox TV series that got canceled after one season, 13 episodes. And yeah, it's like a crime drama kind of thing. It focuses on, what's his name, Walter Sherman. Walter Sherman is the main character. They all this cast of characters, it's a mix. Of course, you usually find that in this type of series, and they all work together to solve a mystery, even if that's not what they really want to do. Walter, at some point, he was an Iraq war vet who got injured. His head got messed up, some sort of injury to his head, and now it causes him to see connections between things that you normally don't see, that other people will not pick up on, like just minute threads. He just has the ability to figure this out. He's kind of like House. I'm sure it's that there was a whole lot of series that were like this, where the guy was quirky, he was sometimes disagreeable, not a lot of people always liked him, but his weirdness or his unconventional means of approaching a situation caused people to go, what? Huh? But he always comes out in the end, and in this case, he's the finder, and he finds anything he's put on a mission to do. So find a person, find a guitar. The very first thing we find him doing is hunting down a guitar with the help of his friends, belonging to John Fogerty. Yeah, and John Fogerty really does show up in the first few minutes of this. He recovers John Fogerty's old guitar, like classic, just beat up guitar, but he was at CCR. Yeah. God, I'm going to really be embarrassed if I realize later that it wasn't a CCR. Creedence Clearwater Revival. Yeah. My brain is also not as special that it doesn't work right now, but it makes me think CCR. If I'm wrong, just tell me. You can comment and tell me. Yeah, just tell me. Anyway, so yeah, John Fogerty has some lines. He plays Fortunate Son. Yeah, so that's TCR. It's Fortunate Son. He plays a few bits of Fortunate Son for, for whatever reason. Hey, John Fogerty appears in the premiere episode of this new show on Fox this January. Yeah, so yeah, he shows up. That's the only thing. That's the only time he appears. It's the whole point is just to draw people in who apparently like John Fogerty and procedurals, like Jag. In this case, Walter's a vet, so I bring in people who like that kind of procedural. But he works with his buddy, who's Michael Clark Duncan, plays Leo. He's kind of the wise, stable. He's spiritual, and he's the true good guy. He's the heart of the group. They also work with Isabel, who I remember what part of the government she works for, but she's an agent who is looking to capture bad guys, and the guys help her out as long as they can use her and her resources to find the things they need to find. So they have somebody on the inside. And there's also Willa, played by Maddie Hansen. Willa is just a disgruntled teen who has been told to hang out with these guys in a trailer park in Florida. Yeah, that always works out well. But she has a shady past, and she's trouble, let's just say. She doesn't want to belong to anywhere. She doesn't want to be here. She's got her own thing going for reasons that she's there. And then, but begrudgingly, she's looking for a family. She's looking to be accepted. And of course, this is the kind of show that, again, you get this a lot with pilots, but there's a lot of exposition that people are talking the way people do not talk in real life. That's the really unfortunate part of this. I would like to think that later episodes, I only watched the one episode, they're about 45 minutes long each, right? They're 45 minutes long, 44 minutes long. There's a lot of stilted language right up front, and I understand that. You need to fill the people in on what's going on with him. Why is he special? Why does he figure this out? Why is he just a little bit off and he doesn't really know how to interact with people properly? He doesn't understand certain people's sensitivities. And the good guy, Leo, has to explain it to him sometimes and explain Walter to other people. And then there's a point where they're on an investigation trying to find this young man. This young man comes to them and says, "You got to find my dad. He was a pilot and he crashed his plane and we never heard from him again. And we want to find out what happened to him." Or I want to find out what happened to him, because apparently it was just the two of them. And so when they go to a base where the dad used to be stationed, they have to go to a checkpoint, and the guy has to look them up, and he basically reads off every single detail about Walter that we would need to know in order to understand who he is as a person. "Oh, you're an Iraq war vet, and then you did this, and you had an injury. Oh, yeah." And I'm just, it's not subtle. It's not well crafted. Let's just say that. It could have been done a whole lot better. But again, when it's a pilot, you gotta draw people in, and apparently there was enough to get them a 13 episode pickup, and that's all it got. So I don't know. So what are you gonna do? Do I say, yeah, you watch this? Well, I watched one episode. I wasn't really super impressed by it, but maybe it gets better. I think the characters are appealing enough that, you might want to tag along for the ride. But going by the first episode, I get the concept, and I can see there's promise there, but do I care? No, not a whole lot. But yeah, if this is your thing, if you're looking for a new procedural, and again, you're probably going to end up with some storylines left dangling by the 13th episode, and the fact that the same year this came out, Michael Clark Duncan died. So there certainly was not going to be a season 2 with Michael Clark Duncan. And that probably threw off a lot of the dynamic going forward. So yeah, it's kind of a bummer. for the whole cast and crew. I imagine that his loss was a part of the reason why maybe they weren't going to be able to come back and just go, hey, let's get a new guy that kind of looks like him and can perform the same role. And how do we write him off? Like he seems the most loyal and trustworthy and kind character on the show. Why would he just disappear? He can't. And would you write the death of that character into the story? I imagine it just may not work well. But hey, if this is the kind of thing you might enjoy, give it a shot. It's like, again, it's not bad. It just could be better. And I don't know. It didn't make me go, oh my gosh, I need to see the next episode. Because I kind of can see mostly everybody's storylines and character things. Just kind of figured out where they're going for the most part. But anyway, let's pick tomorrow's episode.
457.
457. Oh man, we're almost at the very end here. Really close. Is this? No, it's not. Really close to a shark thing. We almost got United Sharks of America. Hey, we're running down to the very last episodes, the very last days of this quarter. So the fact that we haven't gotten a shark selection in a long time is kind of surprising. And considering we had 3 in 2 weeks last time. And just so you know, there's about a dozen or so more new shark things that arrived in July, and they could be added to October's, the last quarter of 2023's selection. That would give us at least 3 dozen shark shows. Nothing against shark shows. Well, no, nothing against sharks. Just the shark shows. There's too many of them. Anyway, this is, I don't think, a shark thing, but it could be. I'm feeling this is a series. It's with a specific person because his name is in the title. We're going to be watching Unknown Waters with Jeremy Wade. So yeah, so whoever Jeremy Wade is, we're going to go into unknown waters with him. I imagine this is a series of documentary things where he's in the water and there's probably sharks. We'll find out tomorrow. Unknown Waters with Jeremy Wade on the next Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow with that.